just perfect. She's truly perfect. And that is gone. Does a great backhanded effort. Save Butler slides into home. Softball action coming at you from Adelaide in South Australia. Today's big clash is the Sturt Falcons versus the Walkerville Cats. James Harris here, and joining me is the legend himself, life member of Softball SA, Lee Hull. Welcome, Lee, and good afternoon.
Thank you, James. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to all our viewers. I hope you enjoy this game. I think it's going to be an absolute belter. So much so that I predicted a win to Sturt against my better judgment, 3-2. So we'll see how we go.
Might look at the matchups very soon, but Lee, absolute mouth-watering contest this early in the season. Both teams undefeated. Of course, the only blip on Walkerville's position on the ladder, although they sit equal top, is that draw, that 0-0 draw against West Torrens last Saturday, which we saw. Sturt Falcons also undefeated, 2 wins from 2 starts. Very interesting fact is that neither of the top 3 teams, West Torrens included with Walkerville and Sturt, none of them have given up a run this season.
That's fantastic. Early in the early doors, isn't it, James? But you can't do any better than that, not give up a run. I'm sure that'll change in this game.
Well, let's look at the key lineups and or the lineups and the key players within the 2 teams. Firstly, we'll have a look at the Falcons lineup. They'll bat first today, and it's our first look at Sturt this season. Obvious key players in their team: Travelodge, Aussie Spirit representatives Belinda White and Maddie Cameron. But today, I'll make mention of Zali Adams, just 18 or 17 years of age in the South State under-18 team, not giving up a run so far in the 2 games that they've played. She seems to have matured. She's grown in ability. She might even have a little bit more zip on her pitches as well. So for me, she might be the key to Sturt's chances today.
And that's well said, James, because Zali has been very consistent. And as you said, she's matured, as you do as you get older. I'll have a look at the walk wall now. And the Cats, Jessie Dreswick. Well, what more do we say? She stood for Stars representation this year, and it'll be a wonderful acquisition to Steph and to Jalen.
Well, we're about to see her in action here. Jessie Dreswick on the mound for the Walkerville Cats. Leading off the game, and for the Sturt Falcons is Ada Caruana. Fires that one in there at a casual 107 kilometres per hour for a called strike. Ada Caruana also re-standing for Stars selection this year. She had a year off last year, and a welcome back to that team.
He's a very good player, Ada.
That's low and outside for a ball. Some of those that may have had a couple of years away from the game may know her as Ada Brinkettree, obviously married to the fantastic man Lee Caruana. Good name.
Well, it seems a popular name, Lee. I'm not quite sure whether it's a good name.
That's the bottom of the zone and the outside edge, I'd say, for Caruana. 2 strikes, 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Lee is a good enough name that you might even change your name to Lee, that you like it so much.
I was thinking more something like Cedric or something different, James, so I'm not recognised easily.
Well, good piece of the ball from Caruana, but how good's Merkin at third base for the Cats? 1 bounce into the mitt, fires it across, not wasting any time, and that's the first out.
Well, Ada, obviously, and we've talked about this before, James, she likes the outside pitches. She can free her arms, but Merkin was lurking, and she did the job.
No shirking the subject there, Lee. First out, and second batter is Sarah Tonkin, the catcher for the Falcons. That one's in there as well. Probably the bottom part of the zone on Tonkin for a called strike.
Fair bit of batting in this lineup here, James.
Yeah, we might go through the lineups in just a moment, but Maddie Cameron on deck. The first of 2 Travelodge Aussie Spirit representatives in this Falcons lineup, and you know, it's devastating for a team to see the 2 of them coming up to bat. You know, you get past one, you've got to get past the other.
You've got the trembles up straight away, I would suggest.
Very imposing, as is this young lady Jesse Jurassic. High for a ball.
Good batter, Sarah.
Yep, yeah, she sure is. I was just going to comment on the change of catcher. So Walkerville started the season with 3 very good games, not giving up a run, 2 wins and a draw. They had a 0 draw against West Torrens. Outside for a ball. And Chelsea Robinson was the catcher. Today we see Hayley Benithan, also a very good catcher. She did make the extended Aussie under-19 squad after Nationals this summer, and very capable. But,
it's brought about by the unavailability today of Sophie King, who would normally play at shortstop, I would think, in this side.
Well, it's a big out for the Cats. But Coach Karen Dale seems to have been able to replace that player in Sophie King with Chelsea Robinson, bringing Hayley Benithan from the outfield in. But as you'll mention in a moment, the Walkerville Cats lineup, maybe just in between batters, Lee, you'll see a very young outfield. Foul ball, and might be able to just feature the outfielders at the moment. Ellie Georgiaris at left field, Bianca Ramsey at centre, and Ashley George at right field. Ashley George is a new player to softball. She's in her first season of softball, Lee.
Plays baseball, I believe, James.
State baseball player, just 18 years of age. She's doing year 12 this year. So fantastic acquisition. Merkin in the action again. Waits for this one this time, but plenty of time to make the out. 2 great plays from Merkin. She's so solid in that third base corner. They call it the hot corner in softball for a reason, Lee.
Well, it was, yes, they do, James, and correct you are. She played, her first year was last year, I believe, and she was a consistent player last season, and just trying to keep up. So she's had 2 plays already. Makes you feel good when you get the outs.
Number 14 for the Falcons is Maddie Cameron, the powerhouse in this Falcons lineup. She just jammed up a little, and Jurassic's going to get an easy ground ball to complete the inning. So 3 ground balls from the first 3 batters for the Falcons. So getting ball into play is going to be part of their issues, knowing that the Cats haven't given up a run. And so not a bad start for the Falcons, although it was 3 up, 3 downs, getting the ball into play. A couple of them good pieces of the ball.
Yeah, it was just a little bit surprising to me that Maddie went for the first pitch after 2 out, 2 up and 2 down. But easy from here, James, easy from here.
Well, we are going live on Facebook. We're interactive in between innings when we get the opportunity, just so we're not interrupting any of our television broadcasting responsibilities. And it's all very special thanks to Spacequake Sports, and they do bring you the action on NITV and Channel 44. Nationally on NITV and SA Community TV Channel 44. So it gives us an opportunity to be interactive with our viewers. I can see that we've got 40 people watching on Facebook, so don't be afraid to give us a like, share or comment, and we'll try and say g'day. Well, Lee, let's go through the lineups. Gives us an opportunity to go through the Sturt Falcons lineup, who are currently undefeated from 2 starts.
Okay then, James. Well, we'll start with the infield. Pepper Adkins is at first. Directly opposite her at third base, it's Jessie Keats, little dynamo. At second base, it's Rachel Tonkin. Her sister Sarah, is catching, and she's catching Zali Adams. And at shortstop, it's Belle White, the current Aussie Spirits vice captain. So enough said about that. I could go on, but we've only got an hour and a half in this game. And the outfield, left to right, Jordan Lee, Maddie Cameron, Ada Caruana, they're defending the deep.
Very good lineup. It should see them play some action in the latter parts of March, where we play finals. And I mean, they've got to get there first, but they look absolutely sensational at the moment. They've played 2 games. They've had 2 wins. One against Glenelg Rebels, 1-0 tight contest, and the other one against the Hills Heat, and they blanked them as well, 6-0. So this will be the toughest of their outings so far this season, Lee.
It's going to be a cracker, James. You've mentioned it a couple of times already. Here's the lead-off hitter for the Cats, the Walkerville Cats. It's Chelsea Robinson, followed in by Hayley Benithan, and then Desi Giamarellis.
A bad pitch there to start off from Zali Adams, firing it in there for a called strike. Chelsea Robinson, of course, hit a home run on Wednesday night. We might touch on that in a moment. In a 3-0 game against Port Adelaide, their international import from the US of Adriana Grauer via Sweden, of course, was pitching very well. It was a 1-0 game at the time, and she popped up right at the right moment. A 2-run home run to Robinson.
And it was hit so sweetly too from Chelsea.
Something different you might see in the bottom of the screen is the countdown clock. We were counting up previous weeks. This time around we're counting down. So once that clock expires, as Robinson pulls this ball foul.
High pitch, wasn't it? But she got hold of it and just dragged it foul. Been interesting if that went in.
Identified the change of pace as well. That one came in a little lower in the low 90s. And so she was able to spring onto that one pretty quickly. No, just saying that we've previously done clocks that count up, but this time around we're counting down. Once you see the clock expire, there's less than 5 minutes to go, which means we can't start a new inning. Robinson gets a nice piece of this one. It's got to drop in between the two Aussie Spirit players in Cameron and White, and she leads off the Walkerville inning with a single. So Robinson in the action for the Cats.
Just a little Texas legger, as they call it in baseball terminology, but it's sufficient to get a base hit, and they've got the leader on. It's Hayley Benaithen, the catcher.
Squares to Bunn and leaves a low pitch for a ball, so that's good eyes from Benaithen, who has also been called into the Stars lineup for 2020, and fantastic to see. She's one of a couple of debutantes with clubmate Sophie Roberts, of course, so fantastic to see. She bunts this one foul. Just probably didn't angle the bat square enough there. She's obviously fouled it to the left side, so she's just obviously angled the bat probably the head of the bat a little bit towards centre field rather than keeping it square.
Just a little bit fancy then. Just do the job, give Chelsea a chance to run.
Trying to angle it down to third base perhaps.
Yep.
This is going to do the job for the Cats. A pass ball sees Robinson easily over to second base, and with no outs, Walkerville got an opportunity right here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yes, so what does Hayley do here now? Hit away, you think?
She's got a 2-2 count. 2-2 count.
I may go short here.
Even with 2 strikes, well, she goes after this one, and a line drive to Belinda White. Good piece of the ball. Wasn't behind the runner, but it looked pretty good off the bat. Belinda White, who's just in a touch, maybe a step in closer just because of that runner on second, was able to take that ball. It was on its way down, bit of top spin on it.
I wonder whether it was a hit and run play on that pitch. Maybe not. I didn't see Chelsea get too far off second. But a good piece of the ball, solid piece from Hayley, and just touching on her getting in the Stars team this year. That's through hard work. That she's got there through her hard work. She's always at softball or doing baseball. Always.
Yeah, she made the transition over to baseball pretty easily in the end, because she won a premiership with the Sturt Baseball Club in the Women's League and played for the state baseball team as well earlier this year. And so, she's taken to that game pretty easily. As that one's outside on Desi Giamarellis. That one came out at 89 Ks, Lee, so took a little bit off of that, probably trying to hit a spot.
How good a player is this Desi Giamarellis? How consistent is she as a player in our A grade?
Well, big swing and a miss at that one. That one coming in a bit quicker, 95 for Adams on Giamarellis. You'd almost elevate her to a bit of a legend status in this competition. She's been around for so long and such consistency throughout her career, and an integral part of this team, and one of the reasons why they're able to win 2 back-to-back premierships.
Yes, certainly. Consistency with her, you know, you don't see a game where she has a bad game.
Well, you never see a bad batter hitting in the 3 spot either.
No.
Oh.
Where to use the bat in the men's?
3, mate.
Just thought I'd ask.
We'll get a walk here on the payoff pitch. So, great start here to the Cats. 2 runners on. Just applying a little bit more offensive pressure now with those 2 runners on base. And up to bat, as we just mentioned, Stars selection, Sophie Roberts. She had a massive, massive 12 months. She played under 19s for the state team. She played under 23s. Out of that tournament, she was selected to replace an injured Aussie under 19 player, and then within a month, she was off to Irvine, California to play in the Junior Women's World Championships, representing her country, and that doesn't include all her state cricket.
Has to bunt.
Stolen base, a hit and run. So, Lee, you called it, the batter before. And third base, Jessie Keach was thinking along the lines of you there, Lee, for a short play. Let's watch the statewide super replay.
She's obviously hitting above the ball for the runners to go through, so it's a double steal and protection from Sophie Roberts.
2 runners in scoring position for your big hitter as she reaches for this one. It's going to be catchable for Tonkin. And Roberts will be slightly disappointed with that one as she hits the bat on the dirt on the way back to the dugout, knowing that if she'd just got a little bit more onto that one, put it behind the runners and into safe territory, 2 runs would cross the plate. Falcons breathe a sigh of relief with now 2 out and Ashley Merkin up to bat.
Well, no damage done yet for the Falcons, but it's Ash's turn now. See what she can produce.
Swings at the first one that bounces before she gets to the catcher, so strike 1.
It appeared as if she was going to swing at that no matter where it was. As you said, James, it bounced first.
Piece of the ball, it's a ground ball to shortstop Belinda White. One of the best arms in the league, Belinda White fires it across to Pippa Atkins for the 3rd out, and with 1 out and runners on 2nd and 3rd, the Cats looked very, very likely to score, but good defense from the Sturt Falcons gets them out of trouble there as we finish 1 inning and it's 0-0. Riley, we'll quickly look at our Facebook viewers. You may also be watching on YouTube, but we're interactive with our Facebook audience here. So, well, mate, we've got some people watching from Queensland here. Troy Purcell joined us on the statewide super commentary team. He's watching the Supercars on the Gold Coast, but supporting the Cats to win 3-1. We can see Sandra Drummond named as the Open Men's team manager.
Excellent.
Welcome back to state representation for Sandra Drummond. In the 90s, she was with the junior men's teams and moved away and came straight back and slotted straight back into the Open Men's. So g'day to Drummo. She says that she likes the countdown clock. Nan Angels, good batters at 3, great batters at 4. Go Falcons, Neil Brown, state representative herself. So, we still haven't gone through the Walkerville lineup, Lee. We might get to that in between batters.
We will do. We will
because let's watch this young lady who's up to bat right now. As you mentioned at the top of the show, Lee, Travelodge, Aussie Spirit Vice Captain Belinda White will lead things off for the Falcons in the top of the 2nd.
Well, she's done it all, hasn't she, Belle? And she's still only a young person, so there's much more ahead of her. Well,
let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Well, she's younger than a lot of people.
Dressig just behind early. Was the first one a strike? Took my eye for 1 second.
Yeah. Just pitching her carefully, I think, James.
Well, Belinda White crushes this one inside out and it goes to the fence. George picks it up with a great arm. She's in trouble here, but she's collected on the face. So that's actually good infield work from Sophie Roberts, but Belinda White in a little trouble. So let's hope she's okay. as she dives safely back into second. Let's watch the statewide super replay as we see Belinda White turn. She's already thinking third base, but George's arm from right field, Lee, was absolutely terrific as she dove back, watching the trailer. That was Sophie Roberts covering from first base. She had her leg out. Belinda White dove straight into the knee.
Well, I might go around the diamond for the Cats now, James. You just spoke about Ash George. What an arm. First time I've seen her. Most impressed. Centre field is Bianca Ramsey, and at left field it's Ellie Georgiaris. Now the infield. First base, Sophie Roberts. Second base, Desi Giamarellis. At third base, Ash Merkin. And in the hole at shortstop, Chelsea Robinson. And the battery, of course, is Jessie Dreswick to Hayley Benifel.
Good to see Belle White up and smiling. We saw on that statewide super replay. Great angle as well from the Spacequake Sports crew as she turned blind and dove straight into the knee of Sophie Roberts. So good sportsmanship from Roberts as we're just making sure she was okay. But Belinda White was safely back and she's up and smiling. Bit of extra TV time for the champ.
Yes, I think so. They tell me Spacequake's having a birthday today, James.
4th birthday, Spacequake Sports. Happy birthday to David and his team, the crew at Spacequake Sports, celebrating a great milestone. And this, of course, is our 4th season with Spacequake Sports as well. So very happy birthday. What'd you get him? You get David a gift? 5th birthday.
5th birthday.
Our 4th season. Spacequake's 5th birthday, so...
that's what happens when you get older, David. You lose track of time.
Bunt from Tonkin. This one goes to Roberts at first, and she makes the out. So Tonkin, a step away from being safe. So you almost expected that one from Coach Young there, just laying down the bunt, making sure that that runner on third has just got that extra opportunity to score, which will be from a sacrifice fly. Another opportunity might be from a pass ball. So Walkerville defense right in, they're tight. Outfield's even in close for Jordan Lee.
Yep, good. I like the outfield in close for here. Jordan can hit the nice ball too, a long ball at times. But you've got to play the percentages, outfield in. Don't let this ball drop in with the Texas Leaguer.
It's been great to see Jordan Lee progress through the age groups
of
our junior state teams and even played 23s this year. And, you know, she's a starting player for this Sturt Falcons lineup now.
Yep. Her position's never in doubt in this lineup now, and she's so consistent. Same as Jessie Keach, another young player, you know. Given the opportunity, guess what happens? You grab it or you don't. Both of those have grabbed it.
Well, just a timeout call there from the Walkerville battery to have a little chat because Jordan Lee is ahead of the count here. 2 balls and no strikes. There's just 1 out. She can get a good piece of the ball here. They'll score the first run of the game. That is ball 3. So Jordan Lee in a great spot here. This might be a time for your old favourite there, Lee, and that is going with a 3-0 count to break this deadlock.
Well, I'm still...
You get 3 chances?
Yeah, I do. I get that, but I think I'm shouldering arms for 2 pitches at least. Put more pressure back on Jessie.
Well, as predicted, that one's come off of Dresic and she was in the field of play. So there you go, the 3-0 count itself added that little bit of pressure. Dresic had to get that one down the middle. Jordan Lee does enough, and that's to get the ball into play. And the first run of the season for the Walkerville Cats comes off an error from the pitcher, Lee.
Yes.
So she'll be very disappointed in her own self there.
What I was saying then, James, was when you're 3-0 count with the runner at third, make the pitcher throw more pitches. Take 2 and then go the last one when it's full. But got the result.
High at the top of the zone for Jessie Keach, who's the new hitter, and after a uncharacteristic mistake there from Jessie Dresic, you might see her just turn it up a notch here, I would suspect.
Yeah, she'll get angry. That's what pitchers do.
107, so just out of the zone as well. I'm sure she'll get her groove back a little bit. She gets an opportunity just to calm down a little. So this next play might be big for Dressick as we see Jordan Lee on first base. There's one out. And Jessie Keach has a 1-1 count.
Discipline batting here, James, discipline.
Yeah, Lee, let's talk about the runs against. Just in between pitches, of course, we'll see Jessie Keach, who's ahead of the count now, 2 balls and a strike. Just has a wave at that one a little bit, didn't she, on that running bunt attempt?
Yeah, it looked like
up the count at 2-2.
It looked like sort of a half a push bunt, sort of, without success.
2-2 the count. Let's not forget about these runs against, Lee. We'll touch on that. I've got a big point to make here, so it's a big build-up. Swing and a foul. So, look, Lee, the importance of that run that Sturt have scored. Walkerville hadn't given up a run this season, okay? Yeah, they've only played 3 games, but that's still 3 shutouts. Let's talk about Jessie Dressick. She didn't give up an earned run until the grand final in 2019. So she went about 8 games without giving up an earned run.
Yep, it tells you something about the person.
Gets the ball into play. Great play from Roberts as she turns one, and just a slight overthrow there from Robinson as they attempted the double. How sharp was that from Roberts at first? Without hesitation, she picks it up on the half hopper. Statewide Super Replay will show it as she'll turn to try to play. Makes the out with the lead runner. That would have been close at first. Let's have a look at another angle here. Keach got a good piece of the ball. She got it behind the runner, but so good from Roberts. Gee, that would have been bang bang at the plate, at the base. Well, Zali Adams now up to bat. Interesting to see the pitcher has been given a few opportunities for the batting in the batter's box this year, knowing that they've got a couple of good hitters in the lineup on the bench. Millie Fidge, who's hit an in the park home run this season. Jenny Gray, swing and a miss from Adams. Obviously backed in from Coach Young.
Yes, exactly. Although interesting to see Pepper batting at 9. That's for a reason, obviously. Try to get her on before we get to the top of the lineup again.
She's on deck for the Falcons. Adams chops this one, and Merkin has to wait. Gets the throw across. She's got such a great arm, Lee. It was low and a good take from Sophie Roberts. And she's having a bit of a game in the field there, Sophie Roberts. A couple of good plays in the action that inning as well, impacting on Belinda White as well. Let's not forget, she may be shaken up just a little. That is yet to be seen. But Sturt, Falcons draw first blood on the Cats for the 2019-20 season, and they take a lead into the bottom half of the second inning, run 1-0. Well, Leroy, we love it that we've got people watching at home, watching online. Maybe you're out and want to catch the softball action. We can see fellow commentator Kathy Lambert. She's over in the AIS this weekend. She's in Canberra. And she is loving the action there. Millie Sims loves watching Spacequake. Great company, Spacequake. So you get a shout out there, David, on your 5th birthday. Happy birthday to you, mate, and a couple of supporters, even for the Eagles. Dawn Miller's watching. Go Eagles. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes and shares and your comments, and we'll try and get to you from whenever we can. We can see Kelsey Curtis. Hello, Kelsey, watching from Arizona in the US all day.
Hottest place I've been to, Arizona. Sorry, Kelsey, but it is.
Well, we are back to the action. The designated player for the Walkerville Cats is up to bat. Alana Dales to lead off the second inning. Walkerville Cats are 2 runners in scoring positions with 1 out, so they threatened early in the game. But the Sturt Falcons it was that scored first. They hold that 1-run lead.
That was a good pitch, that low one there. That's what you throw, don't you? You throw low and inside to people of this height.
That 1-run manufactured from a lead-off double from Belinda White. Pass ball, how damaging can they be, as she scored on an error from the Walkerville defence, and that was their first run against for the season.
It's taken a while to come.
Lana Dales. There's a swing at this one. It goes foul. So good intent from Dales.
Yeah, she's batting this season, batting for the pitcher, Jessie. She normally plays at first base with Sophie Roberts. She's going to be a very good first base player over the years, Sophie.
Swing and a miss. So the first strikeout victim of the game. Zali Adams, great pitching. Gets Alana Dales chasing high and outside the zone. That's the first out. And brings up to bat a young, exciting player for the competition. Ashley George is the hitter. She's in the left-handed batter's box. Have a look at her stance. You might see the baseball style.
I'll tell you what, she looks like a player, James, from here.
What a fantastic get for the Cats here to pick up such a player. She's not playing in the Women's Baseball League this year, Lee. She's going to play Div 2 and Div 3 baseball, men's baseball instead. High for a ball. I got an opportunity to speak to her yesterday, Lee, and she said the difference is obviously the size of the ball. She picks it up. She said she can't get a good grip on the ball because it's so big. She goes to baseball training the next day and it feels like she's using a junior ball.
Yep.
Saw that arm that reduced the Belinda White triple into a double, because that arm from the fence was absolutely sensational. She fired it in and reduced Belinda White to a double.
She's a natural left-hand hitter, James, is she?
First time I've seen her play.
Okay.
It's her first season of softball.
Yes.
It's round 3 and she's playing in the A grade.
But what a good turn at bat so far.
It's been sensational.
That's what you got to do. You take the stick in there and get your money's worth. Oh. Ellie Georgiaris has ducked her head looking for something on the ground as the ball just missed her in foul territory. Made the crowd laugh.
Well, payoff pitch now for George. As she gets a great piece of the ball, the diving Jessie Keach gets a glove to it, just sends it foul. George is going to turn 2 and stand up at second base. Welcome to the competition, Ashley George. She is a likely type. One to watch this season, Lee, as we watch the statewide Super Replay. Great piece of the ball. She got all of it. And Jessie Keach just unable to get a full glove to it and knocks it foul. Ellie Georgiaris up to bat. Looking good for Walkerville with the runner in scoring position with the 1 out.
Yes, it was a great effort from Jessie as well. Don't let's lose sight of the fact she was horizontal at third. See what Ellie can do here. Facing Zali, is really on fire at the moment. Yes, good pitch, that one. Promising player, Ellie Georgiaris, as is all their outfield. Bianca Ramsey, and we just saw Ash George by George Ash. That was good.
Very exciting to see a young outfield for Walkerville Cats. Promising for their future. As Georgiaris watches this one high, way high, and out of the zone, a 2-2 count. We've got a special guest joining us here in the broadcast position, Lee. We'll get to her in just a moment. Georgiaris, 2-2 count here in the bottom of the second. Runner at 2, swing and a miss. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Zali Adams, as we make a very special welcome to a young player who's just arrived in the country on Tuesday. On Tuesday, it is one of Glenelg's international import players. Tori Pogue is visiting us. Lee, welcome, Tori.
Thank you.
Welcome, Tori. Lovely to see you.
Thank
Hope
you.
you enjoy yourself. I'm sure you will.
Yes, it's been great so far. Thank you.
Well, Glenelg, of course, have a bye today, but you're going to play B grade? You're kitted
Yeah,
up?
I'm going to be a DH.
DH in the Glenelg B grade. Aren't they playing now?
Yeah, I'm going to play in the 4 o'clock game.
Bianca Ramsey's the hitter up to bat for the Cats. 0-2 count. Well, Tori, I mean, this is the first ball that you've seen of the competition. What do you think so far?
I'm impressed. I mean, it's been obviously a little while since I've been in competition, so it's exciting. It's going to be a fun challenge, and I'm excited to get out there and, hang with these guys.
Well, let's find out a little bit more about you, Tori. You've come from the US of A. You played 4 years of college with a couple of familiar names to us.
Yes. Yes. I went to university with Steph Trzynski and Zoe Conley and Katie Sutherland Finch, and then played against Johanna Grauer and there's a couple of us over here.
We're going to get Johanna over here in a moment, I'm sure. She's smiling and shaking her head, but I'm sure
she'll come over.
There's some family at home that'll probably want to hear from her, hear how she's going.
Absolutely.
Wow, the talent that we get here in Adelaide is absolutely fantastic, strengthens our competition, and we love it. Did you get to play against Jessie Dressick, or she was another side of the country, wasn't she?
Yeah,
so
she played at Boston College. She played with a lot of friends of mine, but I have not played against her before.
Well, Zali Adams strikes out the side. 3 strikeouts in that inning. Just the single hit, and that come from young Ashley George in her first season of softball. Did you see that in the hit that Walkerville had that inning? All right, well, we might have to get you to watch the replay here on Spacequake Sports. At the end of the second innings, it is Sturt Falcons leading 1-0. Willie, we're joined with a very special guest out of California University. Whereabouts are you from, Tori?
I'm from Boise, Idaho.
Boise, Idaho, Lee. Now, you know the capital of every state in the US
That's the capital of Idaho.
It is the capital. How about that?
But hit me with some hard ones. I know them all.
We might test you another time on that, Lee. Tell us, Tori, what positions do you play?
Well, I pretty much, you can put me wherever. If you need me to pitch, I will try. No, I play mostly infield, specialize on the left side. I finished my college career in the outfield, so that was really cool. And I definitely feel like I became a very well-rounded athlete. So I'm pretty excited to come back out and be able to have, a comfort in every position that I'm able to play. And so this week we practice, and I practice a little bit at third, short, and second. So we'll see. I'm ready to play wherever.
We've got an infield utility here.
Sounds like a utility to me, James.
Now, we do try to catch all of our viewers in between the innings, and we're interactive on Facebook. And so shout out to Brooke, who's watching from Arizona in the US of A. Is that close to Idaho?
Yep.
Close, okay. She said it's hot there. So hello, Brooke. She's going to be a softball player when she's older and an excellent pitcher. So good day to you. And Travelodge Aussie Spirit superstar Kaya Parnaby's watching with us as well. Good day to Kaya. As we're back to the action, Pippa Adkins is the hitter up to bat. She's just been named for the second time in the Stars lineup. So best of luck to her as she'll travel with the Stars team to Perth, Mirrabooka in Perth in January for Nationals. Now, Tori, we play a couple of different forms of the game here. We've got the fully loaded softball. And I hope you're interested and keen to play. Maybe we should double check with the Glenelg Rebels first to make sure that you're available to play as the Walkerville battery just takes a time out to have a chat. We're starting Thursday night, the 7th of November at 7 p.m. Cannot wait for fully loaded softball. It's just a little bit of a quicker form of the game, 3-inning games. The outfield fence is into 180 feet. So if one of your mishits would be able to travel, I'm sure, Tori.
That'd be great.
4-ball walk to Pippa Atkins to start off the third inning. That's danger signs for the Cats as we come around to the top of the order for the Falcons.
Yes, it is, James, and that's what the Cats would not like. The number 9 hitter getting on as lead-off, and now it's Ada Caruana, Sarah Tonkin and Maddie Cameron.
Another timeout call. Just a conversation between batter and plate umpire. The World Baseball Softball Confederation Hall of Famer Neville Lawrence. No arguing with that man. We've got Paul Brooking, Director of Softball SA on first base, and the great Dave Borovnik, a men's premiership softball player. Dave Borovnik, what a great bunt from Ada Caruana. She's going to be safe every day of the week. One of the quickest players in our game, Tori. Might get you to have a look at the statewide super replay when it comes up on the screen. What do you like it calling the action here? Let's watch it here. Great bunt. What do you say, Tori?
Great speed, great bunt, good placement. It's a tough play for a third baseman. That's something you got to keep running through to throw on the runs. You can get, an actual opportunity to throw her out, or else she's safe all day.
Ada Caruana safely aboard and she safely advanced the runner to second base, Pippa Atkins. So 2 runners on now with no outs. As we come to Sarah Tonkin, Lee, short game, going to stick with it?
Well, I'm going to stick with it, but Sarah Tonkin is an extra base hitter when she's going. So with 2 out there and nobody out, 2 on base.
Oh, this is a double steal, and it's just hit the batter in the box. Timeout called, and that is just unfortunate for the Cats. Maybe even a little lucky that it didn't deflect into foul territory.
Exactly.
As the runners safely advance to second and third.
That's not a bad throw from catcher, but I think she didn't have a very big target to hit, and she hit her.
Super slow-mo. Oh, it wasn't the bat, it was the back of the helmet. Well, we hope that Sarah's okay. Is timeout called just to see if she can, if she's okay. And
well, if she wasn't awake, she is now.
certainly is catcher for the Falcons, Sarah Tonkin. Well, Tori, we've had plenty of actions. We've hardly had any time to speak to you. Let's have a look at the angle here from Space Quake Sport. Just missed it on the super slow-mo. It's Space Quake Sport's 5th birthday today, Tori. We've been broadcasting for 4 years. Have you seen any of the action
I have
previously?
a little bit, yeah. A little bit before I got here, because I am a little late.
Well, Glenelg, of course, have played 3 games already. 3 great games. They dropped a 1-run game here to the Sturt Falcons. Then they dropped another 1-run game against Port Adelaide. That was 2-1, and then they got on the board with a victory over the Seacombe Tigers 5-1 just last week. They've got a bye today, as we mentioned. Sophie Roberts just lost it in the sun. The 2 p.m. time slot. We've seen that on quite a few occasions on this diamond, haven't we? The girls do wear the visors. Only a couple of them wearing the caps, but you've got to get that extra hand up, Lee.
Yeah, well, she looked to be in good position, had one hand up. She said, I've got it, and then she's lost it.
Well, maybe a tip for you, Tori, if you play the 2 o'clock time slot here on Diamond 1.
Absolutely.
Piece of the ball from Tonkin. Atkins is tagging up. Roberts comes into trail. She has to take that one because it's offline. Pippa Atkins dives in at home. A sacrifice fly to Sarah Tonkin, the 2nd run of the ball game. Statewide Super Replay will see that all it took was an outfield shot. Pippa Atkins tagging up in 3rd, takes off on the catch. The throw's offline, and the 2nd run scores. Tori, so important to score runs. Let's have a look at some of the results so far this year. No team has lost by scoring more than 1 run in the season so far. Falcons are in a good spot with 2.
Yeah, it tells its own story, that, James.
Well, there is only 1 out. That was from the sacrifice fly, and up to bat now, Tori, is 1 player that you need to keep your eye on in the competition. Travelodge Aussie Spirit representative, Maddie Cameron, 1 of 2 in this Falcons lineup, and they bat 3-4. Have you heard of any of our Aussie players?
Not a ton, but I'm sure I will.
A good catch taken at second base from Desi Jumarels for the 2nd out. After hitting a double for a first turn at Batley, would you be considering passing up Belinda White, perhaps to get to the on-deck batter? That's Rachel Tonkin.
I was thinking of passing up Maddie Cameron, but it wasn't needed, James. But yes, that's a good point, and that's what's happened.
Intentional walk. It's the first one that we've seen for the season.
Yeah. It's just playing the percentages, isn't it, really?
Tori, are you a coach back home, or are you just a player in your career?
Yeah, no, I just finished up coaching this last season at Boise State University. But decided I wasn't quite sure that was right for me just yet. So kind of wanted to play a little bit more softball before I
Tonkin goes after this first pitch, and it gets into the gap. Georgia's got a good arm, and she hits the cutoff, but Maybe she got to play it first, but who knows? It was well fielded in the end, but Rachel Tonkin's single scores the 3rd run of the game, 2nd in the innings. So, gee, the Falcons are rolling here. Lee, you predicted a 3-2 game, and there you go. Falcons have scored their 3. Let's watch the statewide Super replay. She chops at this ball, and Gia Morales just couldn't get there. The reason why I asked Tori, plenty of action. I've hardly had a chance to talk to you, Tori, in this inning. Jordan Lee fouls that one off. The reason why I asked about the coaching is, are you a tactical player? Would you have passed up an Aussie, a national team representative? She's the vice captain of our national team. Would you pass her up on that situation?
Probably not. You know,
this one goes up the middle, and Chelsea Robinson will make the out, and we might not go away from the action. Well, we'll finish the action there. 2 runs scored from the Falcons, but we won't stop talking to you, Tori, as we'll let you go in just a moment. Welcome to the country. I mentioned the fully loaded softball, so hopefully you can start with us on Thursday, November 7th. It'll be live streamed and broadcast on Spacequake Sports on Thursday nights.
Great.
The 3 teams are drafted, and there's 3 franchise teams, so you won't be playing for the Glenelg Rebels, but hopefully we see you on the diamond there. The other game that we should look out for is the state team versus All-Star games, and that will be later on in December, right before Christmas. So we hope to see you in the diamond, making yourself available for that. Thank you for joining us the desk here on Spacequake Sports, and we look forward to seeing you in action. When do you play next? Glenelg play next Saturday, right here on Spacequake Sports, 2 p.m. here against the West Torrens Eagles. We look forward to seeing you in action.
Thank you.
All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
Trust that you enjoy it here. I'm sure you will.
I will.
Others
I already am.
Thanks again for joining us. Cheers. Well, how about that, Lee? The talent right here in this competition just continues to produce exciting Ashley George. Great to meet a new friend in Tori Pogue. I've confirmed the pronunciation. It's just like Vogue, but with the letter P.
Very good.
You know how to Vogue, don't you, Lee? You're sharp on the dance floor?
Modesty prevents me from answering, James.
And we'll just make way from Tori, and we're going to meet another recent arrival to the country, this time playing for the Port Adelaide Softball Club. Johanna, you don't pronounce the J, you pronounce it with a Y?
It's like a Y, yeah.
With a Y,
yeah.
Johanna Grauer?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So we've got an American-Swedish international right here as Chelsea Robinson hits her 2nd hit of the ball game. Another little trigger. Jordan Lee had a little bit of trouble negotiating that one as Robinson turns that single into a double. And Walkerville looking to respond after 2 runs scored in that inning.
Well, what do you think Hayley will do here? Will she go bunt, or will she go hit above the ball and let Chelsea steal through? She needs to get through to third base some way.
One run's not going to win the game, but
no.
We're still early days. Still 40 minutes on the countdown clock to go, plus the 5 minutes as long as there's no new innings that starts in that time. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, 1 run at a time, James. Soon mount up.
All right, back to Johanna. Port Adelaide Magpies player this year. You got some big shoes to fill from Katie Sutherland-Finch. Did you ever play against Katie?
Yeah, I played against her in college quite a bit. We were both in the Pac-12 conference. And then I think I remember playing against her back in like high school for a travel ball team. So it goes back quite a bit.
So the Pac-12 is a conference in the NCAA Division I. Now, you might be a little excited because when we talk NCAA, because your college won the World Series this year.
They did. Unfortunately, it was a year after I graduated, but I was super excited for them, and it was super fun to watch their journey throughout the season. And I was following right along the whole time as a recent grad, so that was awesome for them.
Johanna, I've mentioned that you played for 2 international teams. Swedish senior women's team this year?
Yeah, this past summer.
Was that your first time playing for them?
I played for them in high school, I think when I was 16 or 17, for 1 summer. And then I decided to go back and do it again this summer and take a trip out to Prague. So that was really cool.
Nice one. Well, the European League just seems to get stronger and stronger every year. I was fortunate enough myself to play a few seasons over in the Netherlands.
Nice.
And played in a European Cup as well, and helped coach the Dutch team at a European Championship as well as a Men's World Championship. Enough about me, Lee. I don't like talking about myself too much, as you know. But you also played for the US junior team.
I did with Zoe Conley a few years back. It was the U19 team. So I actually got to know her then, and then we just both happened to be here this summer.
Was
here.
that a Junior Women's Worlds that you played at?
Yeah.
Yeah. What year was that?
20.
Walkerville Cats, and gee, haven't they responded well, Lee?
They
you
certainly
predicted
have.
3-2.
And it's 3-2. Call the game off now.
All right, let's let our guests. Oh, I also forgot to mention the Stars versus the All-Star. Stars are our state women's team, and they'll play national championships in January. And in the lead up to that competition, they play an All-Stars team. Hopefully, you're available come Sunday, the 22nd of December, right as our Christmas holiday break starts. It's a big break, 6-week break. So
I know, I'm excited for that.
well, hopefully you can make yourself available for that one as well. Just we'll check with Port Magpies first, of course.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
we will let you go. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, and thank
Nice
you for
being on
joining
here.
us here on Space Quake Sports. And we look forward to seeing you in action. When's Port Adelaide's next game? You play today against West Tyne, so they're
4.
undefeated.
I
So
know.
it's a big challenge there. And hopefully we can see you on Space Quake Sports soon.
Yeah, cool. All right, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. How about that, Lee? Back-to-back American guest joining us, Johanna Grauer, who is playing for the Port Magpies, and Tori Pogue, who is playing for the Glenelg Rebels. So well done to the Adelaide clubs, bringing these internationals over, improving the level of competition that we have, and it just makes our competition stronger and stronger each year.
And not only are they very good players, James, all of them that we've seen the imports, but they're very good people. Everybody loves them. It's as simple as that, mate.
Spoiled, aren't we, here
We're spoiled.
in
Yeah, we
Adelaide?
are,
It's the best local competition in the country. We've got the best live streaming service in the world, maybe just behind ESPN. They've got a little bit more money than what we do, but back to the action. Alana Dales, the hitter. Jessie Keach has to make a tough play and gets it across for the second out. The third run of the inning scores as Sophie Roberts crosses the plate, tying up the ball game, 3 runs apiece. And Lee, your prediction has been shot of 3-2. It's still pretty close, but wow, what can we say about this competition? Neither of these teams had given up a run before today. We saw 2 runs at the top of the inning scored from the Falcons and 3 at the bottom. Ashley George. How good is this player, Lee? This is her first season as softball. She has played a game of A grade or 2 so far this season. And gee, I'm so excited for the level of competition that we have here. And Ashley is just slotted in nice and easy, and Walkerville Cats have got the find of the season, if you ask me. Have a look at her go.
You see the resemblance between her and Gabby Schneider already.
Rips
Look
the
at
ball,
that.
this one to first base. Great support and backup from Rachel Tonkin to mop up a little bit of a fumble there from Pippa Rackens. That's what's the statewide super replay. It was absolutely ripped over to first base. Great piece of the ball. She's real early on it and just didn't find the gap. Pippa Rackens actually done well because she got that right hand out to stop the ball. She's a left-hander and got enough of the glove to it to slow it down, and We are now tied at the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 3 runs apiece. Well, welcome back to the action. It is after 3 complete innings, 3 runs apiece against these 2 undefeated sides, the Walkerville Cats and the Sturt Falcons. And if you just missed any of that action in the last inning, Walkerville Cats tied the game up with 3 runs. See Jurassic, the pitcher for the Walkerville Cats, up against third base for the Falcons in Jesse Keach. So the 2 Jessies going up head to head here, and Keach will be keen to get on quickly here. Lead off on base will definitely help the cause of the Falcons after the Walkerville Cats just responded in the best fashion by scoring 3. We're back live on Facebook, so welcome back to the action. And if you've missed it, you can catch the replay, of course, otherwise the YouTube channel. 3 runs scored in that bottom of the 3rd inning by the Walkerville Cats. Jesse Keats gets a piece of this one. Sophie Roberts makes no mistake for the first out. I'll give you an opportunity to catch up here, Lee.
Yes,
So,
thank you. It's all right, mate. It's a change.
Sturt Falcons scored 2 in the top of the 3rd inning. Walkerville Cats respond with 3 of their own. Now, we do have an injury concern. Ada Caruana came off with the blood rule, so she may get an opportunity to return to the game. She was fielding in right field with a deep fly ball to right field right at the last moment. She lost it in the sun, and run scored on that play. However, it was the missed opportunity that cost the Falcons, because the Cats were able to go on and score a couple more runs. So we're in the top of the 4th innings. It's 3 runs apiece. We're just hit the hour mark, so still probably about 30 minutes left in the game. Zali Adams is the hitter, pops it up to Chelsea Robinson at shortstop. Now you've got a substitution for us, Lee.
I have James, and it's Lisa Yanchik coming in at left field, replacing Ellie Georgiaris.
Well, we can see that Jessie Dressick has a bit of bounce in her step again after her team got them back in the game. And when you're such a leader of this team as Jessie is, you absolutely love to see that your offense has got your back when you need them most. When you're down, you've just given up 2 runs in an inning. You've given up 3 in 3. You hadn't given up a run all season so far, and your offense just comes back and supports you so well. So she's got a spring in her step. Jessie Dressick firing that one in to Pippa Atkins at 106.
You spoke earlier about no runs, against, and now we've got 3 against in both, So it can change quickly, and it has.
Winner of this game will go to top spot, believe it or not, with 104, a strikeout to end the top of the 4th inning. And how about that to assert some dominance on what is a tight game? Sturt would have been sitting pretty with a 3-run lead at the top of at the middle of the last inning, and the Cats have just bounced back so well. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout to end the inning. And I was just saying the winner's going to go to top of the table. We do have some more games to come today. Port play West Torrens. Port have 1 win and 1 loss. They've only given up 4 runs in the 2 games. West Torrens 2 wins and a draw. They haven't given up a run yet. So we may see another team join the league leaders after the completion of this game. And the 6 p.m. game is Seacombe versus the Hills. Both teams without a win, so looking to open their account.
Yeah, and what a comeback from Jesse Dresswick then. Your team, your offence have supported you with 3 big runs. Your job next is to strike the next 3 out or get the next 3 out before they score again. And that's exactly what happened.
Well, thanks to those who are watching live on Facebook and YouTube. And we'll get back to your comments and your likes and your shares. So thanks for your patience, and hopefully we'll stick with the action for the remainder of the game. Very special thank you to our special guests, Joanna Grauer and Tori Pogue, to American International Imports, coming out to play in the Adelaide Club competition. So credit to our competition, our local talent, just improving year in, year, and these players come over with high hopes, and then, you know, there's some expectation as well for international players, but they seem to be fitting in quite well.
And it lifts the players they play with, James. That is one of the big pluses.
This is the change you just mentioned, Lee. We've got Lisa Yancic coming in to the game for Ellie Georgiaris.
Can hit a hard shot at times, Lisa.
Left-hand batter as well, so just giving something different for Zali Adams to look at. I don't think there's any other left-handers in the Walkerville lineup. Swing and a miss on that change of pace, 77 k's an hour, so hell of a difference in speed.
And it's worked very well for her so far, and she struck, I reckon she's probably struck about 3 out with that particular pitch.
Another change up, this one at 74 k's an hour, so they got her on that one just before and testing her again here. So up to the challenge is Yancic as she fouls this one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. You may see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, 15 minutes, the countdown clock just ticks over. That is 15 minutes to go until no new innings.
Sounds simple enough, James.
A 3rd change up in a row, 75 k's. So really trying to test Yancic.
Test her patience.
And that one might have just been a setup because that was out of the zone.
Yep.
May see her try and blast one by her on the outside edge. Let's have a look.
Might go low.
Tonkin sets up outside, and that is a rise ball that Yancic cannot connect with. So strikeout to start off the inning for the Falcons. Just what they needed because the Cats were rolling. They'd scored 3 in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and we're about to come to the top of their order. This is the 9-hitter. Bianca Ramsey now. We didn't see Bianca last season, but we saw her the year before, and she was a hero of the grand final. Got on base a couple of times and went on in the off-season that year to play for the state under-23 team. So great to see her back.
Yeah, very promising player.
Swing and a miss just off of that one there. So Zali Adams, we mentioned it before, Dressick had to step up a notch for the Cats. Well, this time we've seen a response from young Zali Adams. So great to see that the competitive edge and the spirit within this team on both pitches.
Well, you think the game would tighten up now again, James? Me personally, that's what I think. Because now they've got a game on their hands. Both sides know that.
Swing and a miss, 2nd strikeout of the inning. We saw that in the 2nd inning, didn't we? We saw Adams strike out 3 batters from 4. 3 from 4 batters, and this was the only batter in that 4 that got on base. She got a hit, and it was the 2nd of her game. She got 2 hits. Chelsea Robbins, she's on fire so far this season. Had a Newton Park home run.
I'm not sure whether she's going to strike this batter out.
A running bunt attempt with 2 out, so a bit tricky. Just showing the Sturt Falcons that she's got more than one trick
Some
up her
versatility. Unfortunately, she missed the bat.
What a battle we've got here, top of the table clash. These two teams tied with West Torrens at the top of the table with no losses and no runs against before this game started. 3-all ball game with about 15 or so minutes left in the game and nothing separating them at the moment. What's actually going to be interesting, Lee, is that Ada Caruana came off with the blood rule probably about 10-15 minutes ago, so it's coming due to see if she will return to the game as the Sturt Falcons are at their lead-off spot, which is Ada Caruana due up to bat.
Yes, that'll be interesting.
At the moment, we see Millie Fidge at right field, so it'll either be Caruana or Fidge. Now, Ada did get the game off with some action there. It was a ground ball to third base, but she reached safely in the third inning with a running bunt, advancing the run. Great pitch from Zali Adamson for the second time. This game strikes out the side. She gone up to 7 strikeouts now for Adams, and she's putting on her performance as she goes head-to-head with American international superstar Jessie Dresick. Reigning premier from the last 2 seasons, the Walkerville Cats showed some fight. It is 3 runs apiece as we have completed 4. Well, we haven't had much of a chance to go interactive and check in with those watching at home, but Lee, you got a update for us. Has Ada rejoined the game? We'll catch up with
12
that.
out. She's out, Ada.
All right, let's catch up with that in just a moment. Once you've got the complete changes, let's check in. We can see Paul Roberts. G'day, Paul. Is he in the stands? He's this game more than a pitcher's duel. Good to see. We've seen some pitching dominance so far this season. The great Tony Lomond watching. Go Cats. Mentioned Neil Brown before, so thanks everyone for watching at home or from wherever you are around the world. It's very good to see. I just looked over your shoulder. You can see Tanya Hood pitching for the Hills Heat B grade. Good to see the great Tanya Hood, or Tanya Creek, as you knew her when you first coached her.
When she was 14 and 15 years of age.
A great from the Mount Gambier Association. Her 2 daughters, Amber and Georgia, national representatives in the junior age group. I saw Di Humphreys here as well. She made the trip up midweek.
Lovely lady, Di.
Hello to everyone watching from Mount Gambier. Well, Millie Fidge has come into the game, Lee.
And Caruana out. So Ada's sitting out. That's it for her for this game. Let's hope she's all right, James.
Well, it's an official substitution. I don't know about maybe any concerns of concussion, but could we see a re-enter maybe? Because you can't replace her speed, although Millie Fidge hit an in-the-park home run last week in their victory against the Hills Heat. So maybe she's got the ability to leg them out as well.
Yep.
The young legs of Millie Fidge just announced in the state under-18 team. Good acquisition to that team. She's a powerhouse hitter. She can play infield, she can pitch, and she's playing right field for the Falcons in this game.
Yes, last game she played, she hit Georgia Hood, came in cold and hit Georgia Hood. It was a cracking shot. Right centre.
Not a bad talent to have sitting in your dugout as your first replacement. Sturt Falcons, we know they're a strong club. They've got huge numbers in their juniors, and she just might be the best of the bunch. Jessie Dresick just waiting for the signal that she wants. Millie Fidge inside out on that one, fouls that off to the right side.
The thing I like about this batter is she won't go down wondering.
Some games later on today, Port Adelaide versus West Torrens, Seacombe versus the Hills. Next Saturday, you will see the West Torrens Eagles face the Glenelg Rebels right here on Spacequake Sports. Strikeout looking. Millie Fidge watches that one go straight down the middle.
Sorry, Mill, you made me look a mug then.
And the first out of the top of the 5th inning, and we go to Sarah Tonkin, who played a part in one of the early runs of the game where she hit a sacrifice fly her last turn up to bat. This time she'll be looking to get it on the deck and get the Falcons a base runner.
This is the danger part. 2, 3, 4.
Piece of the ball. Bianca Ramsey gets under it, but it's over her head. This is going to go 2 bounces and into the fence. Just off of the statewide super sign. Sarah Tonkin does the job for the Falcons. Not only do they have a base runner, they're in scoring position. The statewide super replay will show it. She kept her head down. She hit through the ball. She turns first, standing up at second base.
Well, she's, as we mentioned before earlier on, James, that she's an extra base hitter when she's going. She can crack it.
We'll never forget her 400. She hit an in the park home run a couple of years ago right here on Spacequake Sports. Timeout called from the hitter. It's Maddie Cameron. Gee, when you've got a runner on second base, the game is tied. Who would you want in the batter's box? Maddie or Bell? And they're both up the bat. We've got Bell White on deck.
Toss a coin.
Top of the 5th, 1 out. The countdown clock running down about 6 minutes before no new innings. Gets a piece of the ball. It's up the middle. It's gone to advance Sarah Tonkin to third. They're going to take on the arm of Bianca Ramsey. The cut was made. Roberts turns blind the wrong way. The run scores. Maddie Cameron slides into second base. And there's the lead. This game's got it all. Maddie Cameron on the statewide super replay. Gets a piece of the ball, throws the bat, and almost goes as far as the ball did. Watches where the throw goes and safely arrives at second. This will be the angle where we'll see the runner score from third, Sarah Tonkin, without hesitation, not breaking stride. The throw from Ramsey just goes to the wrong side of Roberts.
Yep.
Has to turn blind. Great piece of the ball from Cameron. Belinda White now up to bat. This one on the outside edge, and they're going to try and battle with this hitter who was intentionally walked last inning. It didn't pay off. She ended up scoring. And the Falcons go back out to a 1-run lead. Piece of the ball right side. George was on a stretch. She's got a gun armour. They're going to take her on. Just missed the cutoff, and it's into no man's land. A second run will score for the inning. 5th run of the game for the Falcons. I'm nearly speechless. We haven't seen this against the Cats. The aggression of the Falcons. Before the game, I would have said that the short game would have been their strength for the Falcons, but it's been their ability to score runs. Belinda White does it on this occasion. Hits opposite field, gets it away from the right fielder in George. She fires it in. I'm so impressed with George Lee, and the runner from second scores. Maddie Cameron, she took off when the ball was fumbled on the cutoff play.
Well, you can always walk Bell White. You can only have one intentional walk, which they've had, but you walk her, no damage. I guess it's good in the high side.
Running bunt attempt. Merkin picks up in fair territory. Rachel Tonkin.
That's a very good out.
Did she stutter with her feet there?
Yeah, I thought she did.
If she didn't break stride, she probably would have been safe. It was so close. We called it a bang-bang play.
Yep.
Second out, but she advances the runner to third with 2 out. We're low in time now, so we may not see another inning. So Walkerville need to make this 3rd out. They're down to their probably last opportunity. Jordan Lee up to bat. It's 5 runs to 3. 2's the deficit. They scored 3 last inning, so anything can happen from here. Don't ever count out the defending champions, the 2-time defending champions, Walkerville Cats. And what do you reckon, Lee?
Well,
Piece of the
we're
ball.
soon going to find out.
To Chelsea Robinson, who will make the play. 3 outs to end the inning. What an inning it was for the Falcons. They scored 2. And that is the difference in the game as we head to the bottom of the 5th innings. It is the Sturt Falcons leading the Walkerville Cats 5 runs to 3. Oh, Lee, what a matchup we've got on our hands. It's the 2 of the top 3 teams in the competition, both teams undefeated. The last inning we saw Walkerville put 3 on the board. They're a good spot in their lineup, the top of the lineup, and I say to them, do not count out this team. Walkerville Cats have not dropped a game in 2019 so far, and that goes back to the latter part of the season last year.
And the thing we know about them, the Cats, James, is they'll keep finding something. And as you said, the batters 2, 3, 4 and 5. Ash Merkin with that nice hit last time, and Desi Giamarella, so they come together with a couple here. We might finish up with a tied ball game, like you had last week. That was a 0-all though. Would have been a great game, mate.
This is one of the best games I've seen in the Adelaide competition in a while. The first 2 games were a couple of shutouts, where we saw 3 teams shut out in 2 games.
Yep.
0-all draw last Saturday here on Spacequake Sports, and the opener we saw West Orange Eagles win 2-0 over Seacombe. So great to see some scoreboard action, and Vicky Mack watching from the US, and great game going on here, and she's spot on. So let's see if the Cats can respond. Yet again in this game we see Zali Adams, who has been on a bit of a streak herself. She's through 7 strikeouts in the game. Hayley Benithan is up to bat. They need a base runner here, the Cats.
That's that try. I was going to say, that off-pace pitch is working really well for her, especially with the big swinging batters. Yes, hello to Vicky and also to the hyphenator, Katie Sutherland Finch, the Port Adelaide Magpies dynamic duo from last season.
Steph Collett's watching as well, Lee.
Hi, Steph.
From Oregon.
Oregon, sounds like a piece of timber to me.
She's watching her beloved catch, premiership player last year with the Cats, Steph Collett. As Hayley Benithan gets another change-up. It's an absolute change of tactics from the 3rd inning where they scored 3 runs. She's thrown so many change-ups last inning, this inning again, so the Walkerville batters are going to have to make an adjustment, and that's great tactical play as well, to change things up a little bit, because they were on a roll, the Cats. Piece of the ball goes foul.
Just needs to get on, Hayley, doesn't she? Just needs to poke it somewhere. Just in a gap, not to Bell White, not along the ground to Bell.
Another change up from Adams. 77 Ks an hour. We normally see a mid to high 90s for Zali.
Well, it's been a pressure game, James, even though all those runs scored, so Zali might be just getting a little bit tired on it, as Jessie would be.
Great piece of the ball. This one's going over the head of Millie Fidge, all the way to the fence. Hayley Benithan is quick around the bases. Throw just misses the cutoff, but trailing behind the cutoff player is Belinda White. She'll mop that up, but Hayley Benithan leads off the bottom of the 5th inning with a triple.
Well, she did a line drive. This was her turns at bat. Hayley line drive to Bell, a K2, and now a triple. There's a mixture. What a great shot.
Statewide Super Replay shows the stand-up triple for Hayley Benithan. The reverse angle here just tied up Millie Fidge at right field, and Hayley Benithan recently named, well today, named in the Stars senior women team, and although coach Morgan Young for the Falcons may not like it from the point of view of this game, he'll like it from the point of view as the Stars.
He'll like what he's seen, yes. The big picture is the Stars.
G. Morales gets a piece of this ball, pulls it to the left side. Belinda White gets under it. But she's dropped it. This
even the change of colour, the great White has dropped it.
Oh, wow.
Well, she was sharking it out there in the foul territory, White, but no luck. It was in the glove, wasn't it? Sun, maybe the sun again, mate.
Well, surely any of the players playing today and any of them watching will know the importance of getting that hand up to finish the play, and it's a bit of a shock and a life for the Cats as well. We've seen them win the last 2 grand finals. You know, the last play of each game, you know, definitely went in their favour, and this may go in their favour as well. No outs with the dangerous Gia Morales up to bat. The change up on the outside edge, and sometimes that's all you need, one life. And the Cats have made other teams pay in the past from their mistakes. Hayley Benithan just sitting pretty there on third base, and
one of the youngest pitchers pitching to one of the most experienced hitters.
And she picks a walk. And Lee, I was just going to mention the infield for the Falcons were not in protecting that run, so they were looking to make an out, give up a run to make an out. And for mine, with the game on the line, this will be the last inning that we play, last opportunity. You want to stop that run from scoring. Benithan is quick, so you are giving up a run there if you're fielding deep. So that just adds that little bit of offensive pressure, defensive pressure if you're in a little tighter, putting the doubt in the coach's mind and the base runner's mind that they don't go straight on the infield shot. But now they've got runners at the corners. The Falcons, they got out of trouble earlier on in the game, gave up 3 in the third, and up to bat is Sophie Roberts.
Swing above the ball here, I think. Just see if she can get Desi through to second.
Goes after the first
and that was a low pitch, wasn't it?
It was low.
Yeah.
Interesting with the number 4 hitter and the tying run on first. The outfield is in very close for a known big hitter. We've seen her put it to the fence before. 1 strike the count. She is a junior Aussie representative as well, so comes with a bit of a reputation. Swing and a miss.
That's a very good pitch, isn't it? That'll beat the best of batters.
That change up, continuing to do the damage for Adam. She's ahead of the count here, so she's in a good position, but Walkerville responding yet again, the champs. Benithan just waiting for an opportunity. Here's that ground ball I'm talking about. Belinda White, ultimate respect paid there. A slow roller would have seen any runner take off normally, but not on the arm of Belinda White. First out made, but the runner from first, Dia Morellis, advances to second unopposed. Would you have looked at a lead runner there, or maybe even try to turn 2?
Yeah,
give up 1 run for 2 outs?
Yeah, maybe.
Slow roller, she was inside the line.
Yep.
Let's go now to Ash Merkin. Good block from Tonkin. The runners are in scoring position.
Blocks are imperative here. The block is imperative. Sorry, James.
A safe hit from Merkin here. May score 2. Gia Morellis on second base would need to take off on the pitch if she was to score on the arm of centre fielder Maddie Cameron. She's in pretty close. Piece of the ball is foul. We watch our head as it just goes over our heads, Lee, but safely away.
Well,
what a matchup.
Ash come up with the cracking shot last turn at bat, so she'll be looking to get greedy here.
What a matchup, Lee. Ash Merkin up to bat, a dangerous hitter, maybe a little underrated because of the star power this Cats team has. A little dribble off the end of the bat, it's spinning, it's turning. Benithan just handcuffed a little bit at third. She puts her hands on her head. Nothing you can do when it goes straight back to the pitcher.
No.
2 outs now, catch a speed up rule for Alana Dales, the designated player. Benithan comes out, and the pinch runner for the catch a speed up is Chelsea Robinson, so they don't lose anything in speed. They maybe gain something in experience there. The tying runner on second for Alana Dales. What's she done so far this game, Lee?
K2 and a 5-3, I think. Now's the time for her. She's in as the DP. Obviously, she can bat a bit.
She's seen a few pitches. She's definitely involved in the game as the DP, and bat on ball is imperative. Tying run on second. Piece of the ball's out right side, but it's in the air. Millie Fidge gets under it. Took a rifle right at the end, but took a catch.
Try and be a bit more casual out there.
Oh, and the Sturt Falcons upset winners. For mine, you tipped it before the game, a 3-2 win, so you tipped them as the winners. I was on the defending champs, the Walkerville Cats, but it's the Sturt Falcons 5-3 winners in 5 innings on a play that, well, it caused so much chaos throughout the game, didn't it? A couple of missed opportunities from the sun, so anything could have happened. 5-4.
Yep.
5-3?
5-4. I've got 5-4.
she was replaced on a catch, a speed up, no sacrifice fly. The third out was caught.
Oh, was it?
5-3, the final.
Correction.
As we see the Sturt Falcons come out winners over the two-time defending champions Walkerville Cats in an upset. And Lee, in a game that promised such a tight contest, it blew out a little with 5 runs scored in the third, 2 to the Falcons, 3 to the Cats, and they just really opened it up, didn't they, in the 5th inning with 2 runs scored, and Bonython just gave the Cats a little hope. Then Gia Morales with a walk, put 2 runners on, and then the defense of the Falcons stood up tall, and they were able to hold off the fast finishing Cats and running out winners 5 runs to 3. Lee, take us through some of the key plays of the game and then your statewide super performers of the game.
Okay, then we'll start with Sturt. Well, I couldn't go past Zali. I think that's as good as I've seen her pitched, James. And well caught by Sarah Tonkin. Let's have a look at the batting there. Well, we had the big guns, didn't we? Sarah, Maddie and Bell in their last turn at bat. All got hits, 3 of them in a row. And Bell had 2 hits out of 3 turns at bat. 1 was an intentional walk.
With an intentional walk,
That's right, yeah. So that's fantastic batting. That's the crux of their batting, and we saw it today. For Walkerville, well, Jessie got hit a bit, which was surprising. Haley, you've said about the triple. Chelsea Robinson, 3 for 2, terrific batting. I think Zali. I really do think Zali.
What about for the Cats? Well, you mentioned, of course, Chelsea and.
Well, the most promising
Haley,
part was the new girl, Ashley George. She, as I said there, for me to say that she looks like a miniature Gabby Schneider batting is a big compliment.
From the left side,
yep.
and
power.
And she hits the ball so
look
well.
At her arm. Look at her arm, how strong it was. It's a couple of times too strong.
Unreal. Well, thanks for that, Lee. Absolute huge game. It was a class game from both teams. A couple of missed opportunities which they'll be able to work on during the season. Dropping one early in the year won't really matter too much. I mean, you'll see both these teams feature in the finals, you'd think, unless something drastic happens, because it is a close competition. Let's know that. I mean, we're only 3-4 games into the season, and but from what we've seen so far, these 2 teams have been absolutely sensational, and we should see both these teams feature in our Spacequake sports games over the season, and for mine, I mean, your 2 Aussie players in that offensive lineup for Sturt did the damage, didn't they? Because the game was tied up, and you would have thought, and you would have said that Walkerville had the momentum, and then as the 5th inning started, they got the first out of the inning with a strikeout, and then it was Tonkin, White, Cameron and White that stood up.
But that's when you need to walk the people. You know, you get 1 intentional walk, that's fine, that's gone, but you can still walk them. Just pitch them carefully and walk them.
Was it 3 hits in a row that we saw in the top of the last inning?
Yep.
And all Stars players as well. Tonkin, Cameron and White did the damage, and the other batters all got out as well at their plate appearances. So the damage was done
by the big 3.
By their big 3. Yep. So maybe a learning curve for the Cats side, although you don't really need to play to your opposition too much when you're the 2-time defending champs, but they were upset today by the Sturt Falcons, but I'm never writing off the Cats. Not with Dressick,
exactly.
Not with the likes of Bonython and Robinson, and with some class players to still come back into that lineup as well.
And you get to the stage of the game where the game dictates how you go about it, in the crux of the game, the tough part. And Sturt, the big 3, they did the job.
All right, we're going to wrap things up here from West Beach. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thanks to our broadcast partners, Bob Burns Blinds, MC Sportswear, Statewide Super, CBS and Mindlab. Well, you can catch all the replays of the live stream, the highlights and the big plays from our Facebook page, YouTube channel and, of course, Instagram. Thank you so much, and a big happy birthday to David Muggleton and the Spacequake Sports team. Their 5th birthday, Spacequake Sports. They bring you the best live stream coverage of sport in the country, the best softball broadcasting in the world, and happy birthday to you guys. Wrap things up here from West Beach. The Sturt Falcons winners today over the Walkerville Cats, 5 runs to 3. We'll see you next Saturday for the clash between the Eagles and the Rebels.
Good afternoon, everyone.